Over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Thick as a white male named Lester Patterson. Walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there and he ended up here. Dead on impact by the look of it.
It all started with a game. It's always a game, isn't it? The moment she walked into my office, I knew she was trouble. The pretty ones always are, and she was about the prettiest little thing I'd ever laid eyes on. "What's your name?" I asked, between drags on my cigarette. Her answer was low and breathy, like a quiet prayer. L.A. Noire. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Kidding me?
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife. Length of a bayonet.
We found a knife in the alleyway.
This will be part one of a two-part review of L.A. Noire for the Xbox 360, also available on the PlayStation 3. L.A. Noire was released on Tuesday, May 16th, which is why this review will only focus on my impressions of the first half of the game, specifically the first 11 cases. It's looking like the game will end up being about 25 hours in length, which I'm already feeling isn't enough. Frankly, I'm impressed that this game already has me wishing it were longer when I still have a solid 12 hours ahead of me. For me, most Rockstar titles up to this point consistently remind me that they are Rockstar games, and usually just feel like a skin of Grand Theft Auto. That doesn't mean they haven't been putting out quality titles, you just always know when you're playing a Rockstar game. L.A. Noire felt like a bigger step outside of their normal design and honestly feels like nothing I've ever played before. It's probably due to co- and mostly main developer Team Bondi. You play as Cole Phelps, a dedicated cop working the streets of Los Angeles. He starts off as a beat cop, which involves simple cases and light interviewing. As you solve more cases, you move up in the LAPD to divisions such as traffic, homicide, and vice, and take on tougher and more complex crimes. I was a little worried L.A. Noire would be too disjointed, just moving from case to case, but as you solve one after the other, a deeper, more in-depth plot emerges. When solving a crime, you investigate the crime scene, take notes on important people, travel to various locations, and interview suspects and other people of interest. During interviews, you ask questions based on information you've received via clues, and determine whether the answer you're given is a lie, the truth, or that there's more they aren't divulging. Deciding correctly will unlock more clues that can aid in solving the case and putting the right person behind bars. I worried that there isn't much of a happy medium between this being too difficult to properly deduce based on facial expressions, and too simple because of a lack of faith in the 3D models. I should not have doubted Rockstar and Team Bondi on this.
You're being economical with the truth, Lorna.
You want to back that up, little man?
You increased the premium on Lester's life insurance.
I think Rockstar put all of their eggs into the right basket. Team Bondi headed up the facial mapping done on characters, which is integral to a successful execution of the entire concept of the game. I believe that whereas video games were existing in the uncanny valley for so long, we're starting to see character designs that are taking us out of that realm. I love that I can tell when an NPC is uneasy, not just because his eyes are darting everywhere, but because he's swallowing frequently and has a slight twitch. I love that when a character speaks, his or her inflection is exactly reflected by the 3D model. I am massively enamored with L.A. Noire. I was drawn in and allowed myself to be immersed based on the fruits of Team Bondi's labor.
I think you're in an unhappy marriage, Lars. I think you're lying, and you would like to get it off your chest.
Right now, I'm impressed, but I'm only halfway through L.A. Noire, so I don't know how I will feel by the end of my next review. Fortunately, the first half has been good enough for me to highly recommend this title. Pick it up as soon as possible so no one man or internet can ruin the plotline for you. Now, I'm gonna go get back to it. There's a murderer on the loose, and the citizens of LA need me. Catch you next week with the second half of my review.
Thank you, Miss Perry. Your information has been very helpful. You can go now.
You really think so? I hope you find that driver and put him away.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.